dies to a Symmetra beam.
Yeah, those symmetric turrets can be incredibly difficult to deal with, especially as we've seen from the University of Hartford. But these basic teleporter plays are going to have to force the University of Hartford to play very odd with the comp that they have now swapped onto. They're on some sort of Frankensteinian creation. TP comes over, a huge punch that almost lands him off the side of the map. Doesn't catch any True Blade 16 on this Doomfist 4 recontest, but is now back in. A huge slam, a great punch onto the Mei, isolating them, but University of Hartford's going to have to focus on this target focus. Oh, it gets a massive punch. But as much damage and as much displacement is occurring, the University of Hartford's going to have somebody actually put these targets down. Orimuru's going to take out the lamp. Everybody at 1 HP. Cranky looking for the pickings that he can get. Orimuru able to find some. Twin Sanity is able to take out Cranky, but it's not going to be enough as the University of Hartford stays on this point and is able to keep control of it.
In this Doomfist, it seems to be getting value. It's not something Hartford has gotten a lot of experience working with, but genuinely, Doomfist into Reinhardt is a really strong matchup favoring that Doomfist. Reinhardt really struggles to, make ends meet against a Doomfist that is getting in, getting out, and just cycling their cooldowns. He might have just punched that Mei off the map for free.
That was an absolutely huge punch just based off of mispositioning on the side of that Mei.
And True Blade simply single-handedly wins this fight for the University of Hartford with just good decision making on this Doomfist. And now it's 81%. They might be able to stagger out this Lucio. And I don't know if the Warhawks are going to be able to get another follow-up attack.
Yeah, this is incredibly close. The Mei might have to wall themselves over just to be able to make a touch here. At 93% without a lot of speed, nor a teleport. Looks like they're actually going to group up the triangle for a teleporter play as Arc sets up the wall.
Oh, what a massive boot by Blackout!
And it was read just like a textbook, getting an A in this class as Blackout gets 2 before this final fight even starts technically. True Blade 16 able to find another, and this should be over for the University of Hartford as they are going to be able to take a map and make it 1-1 with 2 consecutive reverse sweeps. University of Hartford sends this to map around 3 of Lijiang.
This has been a giga banger of a first map.
Yeah, a lot of excitement on all sides. Warhawk really putting up an effort to make sure that they go back from 99-0. Then the University of Hartford doing the exact same. This could be large for the University of Hartford. They're going up against a Brawl team. If they decide to stick with this comp, it's understandable, especially with their general playstyle. However, University of Hartford Brawl v Brawl here has looked a little bit tough, and especially as we head into the more Brawl-heavy control center part of Lijiang Tower, could be very, very difficult, as we do see True Blade 16 opt to get onto the Reinhardt and face the matchup head on. Not even honest, taking the better Brawl, taking a Brawl that is equal.
I think this is exactly what Hartford should have been doing. The use of Bastion and just the shield of a Reinhardt can make this matchup so much easier. They opted to play Symmetra Mei for a while, and it can be really difficult to run comps against a Reinhardt if the enemy team has a Bastion. And, well, we've got the Bastion, their Ryan is crying.
Yeah, and that's a
although
lot
so
of
is Cranky. Oh my lord. Reinhardt isolates himself as True Blade looking to capitalize. Yas on this Bastion, though, doing his best, covering his teammates' weaknesses, and both teams losing picks. Mei for a Reinhardt. Hartford, if they can capitalize and sustain through all of these trades, they're going to be able to come out on top.
However, Yas able to find another, but it doesn't matter as University of Hartford in control
Watch
at this
the
point. Ooh, trap is sighted. However, Insanity able to find the Baptiste with a well-timed fire strike. University of Hartford in very, very bad position right now as the Reinhardt does get taken down. That's going to be University of Hartford potentially having to give up this point, but they've built up a large charge already. Almost 32% going to end up here. Actually, a little bit more as Orimuru decides to give his life the cause, and all that extra percent is going to help out at the end of the day.
Now, True Blade, again, switching back over to the Sigma, opting to play more to counteract the enemy Junkrat and Bastion, less focused on the enemy Reinhardt. And I'm interested to see how this works out for them.
It should work incredibly well if the University of Hartford continues to be able to play the space well. Have a lot of damage from the window and the turret form on the side of Warhawk. Yas able to take out his contemporary on the Bastion. Able to find another with that one right click through BAP window. Incredibly high amounts of damage for the Warhawks College. University of Hartford just having to back right into spawn. However, we just equalize on percentage right now. University of Hartford still in this, but
And
Sigma Cup is going to play a lot slower, going to give a lot more tick over.
And that was a very expensive fight for the Warhawks. They used the Shatter, they used the window, and they used the Junkrat Riptire, all in exchange for just a single window of our own.
Yeah, that could be a very, very good for the ultimate economy overall. However, this Bastion's still stuck in white. A wall, very good for Yorimura, but are they able to actually recognize the tick potential there?
Massive
Huge
blizzard potential here.
out.
Freeze does come out, but Cranky is there with the artillery and able to find one with the help of Trueblade and Revan, and this is looking like Hartford gonna be able to take this one. Just a Lucio left standing, and they eventually clean him up.
University of Hartford managed to stop the bleeding here at around 77%, and Warhawk College sent back to their spawn. And this poke comp that they're playing, this hybrid poke brawl comp, should be very good to be able to hold down these points. However, the University of Hartford needs to know when to cede space, when to give it up, and when to just back out. As they're holding a really solid angle right now.
Great Maywall comboed with the Bastion here, and they don't do too much, but they bait out a Bastion turret, which can be massive.
And a complete evisceration of shield. A huge BAP window. If they're able to find a pick through this, it would be very large.
Oh, Cranky finds it at the last second.
Junker not going off fast enough. A right click able to finish it off. However, the Junk's still on the flank, doing a lot of damage. Takes out the Baptiste. That could be large.
Great shield block by Trueblade 16. Absolutely saving this fight for the University of Hartford, as that Shatter would have spelt complete disaster. It is numbers relatively equal, as it's a tank, Bastion, and support alive, as the respawns are returning for the Warhawks. But so are Hartford's.
Oh, but Yas able to take out Blackout. He's just wall riding across the side of the room. Cranky taking out the Baptiste window, or a lamp. Very, very important, especially with how many people are low in this corner. They're all backed into an area where they could easily be taken out. Artillery strike comes in, and that's exactly what they wanted, as Cranky is able to take out Hostile on the side of the Baptiste. The Reinhardt is one, the Bastion is one, the Lucio is one, everybody's one, but Yas is able to find more, and the beat comes out on the side of Warhawks. Arc is able to find another, and this might be University having to give over the point with a one fight on both sides.
Oh, what a shot! This is extremely winnable. He lifts up both of them. If he manages to land this, he takes out one. It's just a Lucio Kirko remaining for the University of Hartford, and respawns are nearly back. Cranky here on the Bastion. Kirko, the only one left standing, as Hartford is able to take this from the jaws of defeat.
Wow, and that was completely on the back of Trueblade 16, doing utterly amazing things in that final fight. That was beauty incarnate, hitting his neutral fire, hitting his gravitic flux. That was all very, very large on the side of the University of Hartford, but big shout out to Trueblade 16, really carrying that last fight. Overall, however, this is a much closer map than I think a lot of people anticipated, as we do see the incredible .1 heroics from Mustang Rider, managing to get 3 in one play of the game, all boop environmental kills. This is going to be a close one, ladies and gentlemen, so definitely stick around for it. University of Hartford, however, we're still up 1-0 after Lijiang against Warhawks, so definitely a banger on our way, but University of Hartford is going to have to tighten up. This is definitely not the same passion and skill level that we've seen from them in the past, but it could be forced errors. It could be Warhawk doing everything that they can to try and put them in an uncomfortable position. But University of Hartford's definitely in for a long one here.
This is going to be an absolute battle. No team is going to be giving up this matchup without, a lot of give and take.
Absolutely, and that's what great games are made out of. I mean, we saw so much in that last fight; it practically felt like an entire map onto itself. But map 3 or round 3 of the Lijiang to start off is definitely going to put a lot of tiredness in these weary bones for these gamers, especially after playing all season so far. But University of Hartford still able to come away with the dub, and that's what really matters here. So very solid effort from the University of Hartford. A great effort as well from Warhawk, but they are fighting with tenacity, and the University of Hartford is trying to claw back to where they've been in the past. I think I've definitely seen them do better than this in the past, so hopefully they're able to get back to it.
Now, it appears we're going to be rolling into Paraiso for map number 2 here. I'm curious to see what Hartford opts to run. This is a bit of it's a very unique map as far as what teams like to run. A lot of teams like to run stuff like the Sigma, the Junker Queen, the Ryan, the maybe Zarya, but on a map like Paraiso, it's a very vertically oriented map, which is where we see teams opt into stuff like Doomfist, stuff like Diva, or not Doomfist, well, sometimes, but Winston, Diva, and sometimes other slower options like an Orisa, and some even opt to stick with the Sigma just to control the high ground and play a lot slower. And make it more like a standard poke battle as we head into map number 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, the University of Hartford has their kind of pick of the litter. I've seen them play almost every single comp that we just described. Tank versatility is definitely there on the side of University of Hartford. But however, this map pick coming out from the side of Warhawks, that is a little worrying. I mean, it seems like most people choosing a niche map like this would have a strategy going into it, especially with them playing so much Symmetra Brawl. They could be doing something very akin to what the London Spitfire has been doing all of 2023 and 2022 season, is hard focusing onto a meta that works on maps in niche moments and niche scenarios. So the University of Hartford definitely could be up against something very, very difficult for them. However, the SIG comp, just like you described, is very good at also dealing exactly with what Warhawk could potentially be throwing at them. However, we see a very different look here from Warhawk, as we also get to see a little bit of something different from University of Hartford as well. But let's start with Warhawk, as they will opt to go on the Sigma comp here, hoping that these next 30 seconds hold as is. They're doing a very long range, high damage comp across the board.
This is going to be incredibly dependent for the University of Hartford. This will be incredibly dependent on Cranky, on the Echo. He is playing Echo. He does have the Mercy Pocket, but he is being thrown up against 4 different hit scans for the side of Wisconsin. And the Sigma 2 can be incredibly difficult to deal with as an Echo. So I'm curious to see how he opts to handle, if he decides to switch off, or, maybe he just bodies on his own.
Especially with the Mercy Pocket, you can kind of take longer flank angles, or even potentially just go for gank kills where you go into backlines, just try and mess them up as best as possible and aim to get 1v1s in.
Just like
huge
that.
sticky hover, I have a headshot. And staying in that main is going to be a big problem. I don't think it's necessarily an issue with the character itself. I think it's going to be with the playstyle, and Cranky is definitely going to have to adapt to this long-range poke hit scan battle that he's going to be going into as a flyer character. And Hostile is able to take it on another as well.
Everybody's going to have some struggles in this matchup, as Revan can barely even peek, and Trueblade playing on the wrong side of a Sigma shield. Cranky, though, able to maintain some forward pressure as the rest of his team takes a second to catch their breath and, re-prepare to go back into this matchup.
And with the tick not given over, however, very close, University of Hartford is actually going to give over that tick. But Trueblade 16 has the opportunity to contest whenever they want. They really want to bide their time here, especially with the type of comp that they're playing. Already a Nano online from the side of Revan, able to take out Lupus Magnus on the side of the Sojourn. University of Hartford building these ults incredibly quick because of the amount of damage that's being put out. Healer ult should almost always be online on the side of University of Hartford. And they're able to just stall more and more time here. However, Yas, Hostile, able to take out the Flyer duo in the air. It's going to be very, very tough. University of Hartford just trying to do whatever they can as the second tick goes over, and that should be third and first point going to the side of Wisconsin here. Or we're thinking about investing this visor, but doesn't have the time to, as they're going to back up and just take some high ground here. Like the verticality in this map suggests, they really should do fine if they just manage to stay away, use the high ground, especially on the second point. In an attack phase, this long range isn't as good. The Sigma works a lot better, and the rest of this comp works a lot better when playing defensively. So the University of Hartford in a pretty good position here to try and squander the chances for Wisconsin to move forward.
A lot of ultimates on the board for both teams as we see Cranky pull out this duplicate right off the bat. Orimaru as well with the tactical visor hitting up this backline and absolutely eviscerating everyone. Blackout using the Valkyrie as well just to help keep his team up throughout it all, but I'm not sure how I feel about this. Yes, they won the fight, but that was the cost of 3 ultimates and nothing expended on the side of the Warhawks.
Yeah, they have 3 pivotal ults coming online right here. Twin Sanity and the Sigma has the Sigma Flux. We have an incredible strong combo there if you want to combine that with the Alari ultimate. However, Orimaru already able to take Yas, and this is an off angle that's very, very necessary, especially if the SIG comp is going to play tight together. They need to take wider angles on the side of Wisconsin if they really want to stop that, and Orimaru going on those flank angles, because Soldier could just maneuver around the map so easily. The Baptiste is just stuck, however, and this is a great long-term dive from the side of University of Hartford, not even giving any room to breathe for Wisconsin, and it's going to be UHart cleaning up a fight before it even starts, based off a pick from Orimaru.
And we were talking about this ultimate... Oops. We were talking about this ultimate economy from the side of Wisconsin Warhawks, but they haven't used anything, and Hartford has almost gotten back their duplicate. They've built the entire Primal Rage, and Revan nearly has his Nano Burst as well.
Yeah, this is definitely a good position for the University of Hartford. They're building everything back that they need to be able to build. And they check this angle by all going to the right side from the University of Hartford's perspective.
Holy!
And this is just an easy fight for them. Taking flank angles is very different from instead completely aggressing on one flank angle together. Once again, Wisconsin, honestly not... I don't know whether or not they know exactly how to play this comp. This is not how ideally you would want to play a long range, high damage comp like this. You want to take angles, you want to switch things up.
Just like that, we see them actually opt to switch things up. They switch off of the Sigma and their... Who was their second support? I know there was a Yalari.
It was an Alari. Alari Baptiste.
And Baptiste. So they swap off of the Baptiste and the Sigma without even using these ultimates. Orimaru looking to make something happen with the Tactical Visor. Doesn't get anything as Bob is there to just cause complete disruption. Trueblade pulls out the Primal Rage, looking to hunt down this Mercy, but she is extremely squiggly as Trueblade bouncing around, able to get out just in time.
Decides to go back in, especially with this copy on side. This is classic Winston Diva, a great dive duo if you ever have the opportunity to play it. And that's an anti-Sojourn as well. We really have to give a big shout out to Revan's nades from the backline here, just doing so much every single fight, every rotation, every time they end up in main. Revan able to just give them the antis that they need to be able to win these fights easily. However, very low. Oh, and Orimaru does go down again, as the University of Hartford is just going to have to give up this space after wasting nearly 4 minutes on the side of Wisconsin's attack phase here. So overall, really solid. However, Revan in a stuck position right now manages to get out back to his Mercy, as the University of Hartford is going to just take a couple more steps back and set up in a better position.
And another swap I want to call out is Lupus Magnus does decide to switch over to this Reaper just to make Trueblade 16 have a bit of a more difficult time. And we see swaps actually both from our DPS of Orimaru and Cranky, as Orimaru opts to run this Genji, and Cranky has changed over to the Sojourn.
That's high damage potential with another slide that's also going to be able to get them around the map rather quickly. However, this Reaper and Diva on point is going to be hell to be able to contest against. Oh, as they get the Sojourn incredibly low, but they don't go down. But the Winston surely is next. However, it doesn't matter. Cranky's able to finish off that Reaper before they're able to do anything. Trueblade 16 able to stay in the fight as well with the assistance from Revan on the Nano Boost. They're just going to try and clean up this fight, and the slower that they can clean up this fight, the better, as we're at 15 seconds remaining on the clock. University of Hartford potentially able to stop them from even touching in the first place. The Diva Bomb used last second. Please don't die to that.
Oh.
Okay. Whew. Dodging both. Orimaru getting out bottom left. As one touch is available with 5 seconds left, top right, we see the Reaper making a mad dash for it, but he has to use his inability, or his out ability, to get in as the overclock comes in on the side of Cranky, defending this point. Touches should be coming, however, huge headshot. This overclock doing everything that is needed in this dilapidated fight on the side of Wisconsin. Overtime ticking. Another touch comes out, but Orimaru, the ult, everything is just on the side. I really thought he was going to die to the Bob there.
I did as well.
That was almost going in my cringe compilation, but what doesn't go in my cringe compilation is a great round on defense for the side of University of Hartford, as they are able to prevent Wisconsin from pushing it all the way to point 2. However, it was incredibly close with 120 meters on the board for Wisconsin. They only needed 0.10 more meters to be able to actually cap that out. So the University of Hartford still looking to cap essentially 2 full points, but I do think they're on the better comp overall.
And it's really worth noting how well the University of Hartford started to play once they moved on from the first point. First point was a big struggle, largely due to just compositional issues. The just raw poke power that they had from Wisconsin was just really hard for Hartford to handle with their Diva Echo comp. when they started to make those switches, and more importantly, when they got to a section of the map that just really favored this high ground dive style that they were running, there was nothing that the Warhawks were able to do to handle the dive.
Absolutely, and I really do want to give again another major shout out to Revan on the side of the Ana. The second point definitely helped him out a lot. However, well-timed, well-placed anti-nades definitely helped out almost every single fight there to actually win, and that's the key thing to do as a flex support. However, we do see them switch back over to their little bit more quintessential Baptiste. So very interesting to see on the side of University of Hartford all the looks that they're giving us, not only the Sig and the Monkey on the side of Triple 16, but the Ana and the Baptiste, and all of it is seemingly working very well. As University of Hartford on this big rush up seems to just want to rush in, but they're leaving their Baptiste. They're going a bit too fast.
I think this is
just gotcha slide back out.
I think this is largely just due to a little bit of discoordination, perhaps a degree of inexperience, as they have not experimented too heavily with these sim TP attack compositions. But you know, they're looking to make it work. Go put a little bit of pressure on while they have the opportunity. And now, as long as they can all get through this transition, Cranky's going to be there with this teleporter. Just set them up on point and force them to walk into the University of Hartford.
And this is an incredibly great strategy. As you can see, it should have been very, very prevalent and obvious for Wisconsin to be able to notice, but they couldn't do anything about it. They didn't rotate fast enough because they don't have the speed on their side either, instead opting for a Mercy to be able to increase damage. But that damage isn't going to do anything if you're taking all of it, as the point already goes over. 3 still alive on the side of Wisconsin. University of Hartford is playing this like an absolute fiddle, doing really, really well as they attempt to stall out the Mercy with no ability to break your own turrets. The turret does actually finish off the Mercy on the side of Wisconsin. University of Hartford sitting very pretty, 5 minutes on the board to be able to cap essentially 1 more point, and not even the full way, as they take some really solid forward position here, which they can do, especially with the Symmetra and the Sigma. You have such good high ground control with high ground mobility, and a great gank kill to start off all of this. Ori Muru and the turret able to take out Twin Sanity B.
And let's get a little bit of Lucio POV for our friends at home.
Yeah,
Mr. Blackout
at home,
vibing out.
All
right, back to the action.
Of the game.
Ori Muru here, going in deep with the ultimate. Finds two.
Utterly incredible. A res on the side of Twin Sanity. However, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Payload Princess catching back up. This is going to be a full team fight. That Bastion is already brought incredibly low. A window, however, could be influential, but that Flux a little bit bigger. The Mercy going in and Valk to be able to try and stop that point from moving forward. Oh, however, Lupus is able to find one on the Bastion with the artillery strike. Could be large to slow down the efforts here from University of Hartford. A window on the side of Revan, but he goes down almost instantaneously. This Junkrat getting bumped around like an absolute ping pong ball. A huge Flux, a 3-man Flux on the side of Wisconsin's tank. That's probably going to be a cleanup fight for the University of Hartford. 46 HP in a Dream. However, that Dream is going to fade away rather quickly. Triple 16 goes down, and that's just going to be a regroup, but only 1 minute knocked off the clock for the University of Hartford, and the cart is mere meters away, 5 meters away from that golden box of victory.
I'm not a big fan of Hartford's decision to invest so heavily into that fight. Right off the bat, they lost one early to the enemy Bastion turret, and they decided to invest both the window, the Symmetra wall, and the sound barrier in an already losing fight.
But if I had learned anything from investing over the pandemic, I know that it's always going to go to the moon, so always keep investing, double down, triple down, quadruple down if necessary, as Ori Muru is able to take out his contemporary. Ooh, but a large tire comes in, and that's tough. As the University of Hartford does go down, and that's going to be a clean 5k for Yas, absolutely doing the thing. Snap fingers, everybody, snap some fingers. Good job. As the University of Hartford does have to go back to the drawing board on that, but no ults invested there. Pretty much a clean sweep of the board for literally everybody, as University of Hartford still in fantastic position here to be able to eke this cart in. 115 meters, only 5 meters away, as cart does technically roll back a little bit. Another TP play as University of Hartford sets up for good positioning.
Massive damage coming out from Ori Muru with this Bastion ultimate, and doesn't quite find one, but forces out an absurd amount of resources. Oh, trades going both sides. 2 members fall for the Warhawks, and 2 as well, 3 for Hartford, as it's just a Lucio and a Sigma versus the remainder of the Warhawks here. I think it may be time for Hartford to consider reassessing their strategy.
Yeah, this is definitely tough for the University of Hartford. They can swap over to many other options that would work. The Winston comp definitely was swaggy. It worked out incredibly solid for the University of Hartford. If they can get in fast, especially against an immobile comp like what they're seeing on the side of Wisconsin, that could be everything. But there's still 2 minutes on the board. University of Hartford can continue to commit to this idea. Another TP play up onto the high ground. This could be it, as we see another TP coming out, but this Bastion, or sorry, this Junkrat, holding down a lot of damage, especially for these instant TP plays. Sigma swinging wide with the rock. Triple 16 trying to keep up the damage here, but unable to really get out of this corridor, and no abilities to speak of, and no healing to be able to return to. Finally gets the abilities back and the beat on his side as well. A huge flux potentially, however, only able to get the Sigma up. Everyone's gonna have to focus down that target. Oh, as the lamp comes out on the side of Wisconsin, that Sigma's taking so much damage, but also receiving so much healing. A huge Bastion ult's gonna come out. Doesn't manage to take him down.
What is going on? Blackout just takes out the Lucio during the Riptire. The Riptire is completely negated. Ultimates being thrown left and right as, oh my, Bastion Orimaru nearly up to a second ultimate here is just raw damage is being thrown out for every single one of these turret forms. Mercy sure to fall as she flies onto the point. Bastion, the last man standing. Junkrat trying to throw his body onto point, and Hartford is able to secure map number 2 of Paraiso.
He built it. He built a second ult in one fight. He did it. He deployed one ult and then built a second one. We'll take those. As Orimaru doing so much damage in the end there, really being quintessential to the team's victory there, as the University of Hartford is able to take Paraiso, but once again, in such close fashion overall. This University of Hartford team, once again, play the game going over to the side of Wisconsin. A easy 5K for Yas. Once again, let's get some snaps out. If you're in chat, let's get some snaps. Very solid job. However, a great look from Wisconsin. They're not able to hold on to it as much as possible. But the University of Hartford, I would say, did a lot better in this map. They're looking like old University of Hartford from a week ago, from 2 weeks ago, when they're playing with heart, conviction, and a lot of forward pressure overall. So the University of Hartford doing a fantastic job. Really, really clean effort from them as they're able to take Paraiso and send this to 2-0 with only one map remaining. This could be an easy finish off for the University of Hartford.
And it appears we're going to be switching over to Survasa for our map number 3. And like Lijiang, this is Scrimsrasa, Sura Scrimsa. This is the team, or this is the map it seems every team has been favoring for the past couple weeks. As soon as Flashpoint's been released, it feels.
Yeah, with only 2 maps to Flashpoint's name, it is kind of crazy the percentage that you see this played not only in scrims but also in matches. Survasa's just heavily favored. I mean, what can I say? Australians kind of suck. Can we all keep it a stack, ladies and gentlemen in the chat? If you're in the chat right now, keep it a stack. Tell me what you think about Australians overall. Their people, their culture, a VB Longneck, a Goonsack, a Barbie. What's other Australianisms? You got a favorite Australianism?
Can I? Oh, all right, never mind. I was gonna read out a text because I thought it was a just a random spam ad text being like, "Hey, what's up? Here's this thing. It's something about wildlife preserve," and I was like, "Let me just read this out." And then I realized it was my I don't even know, coach Evan from D1. Our gym coach.
Oh yeah, your gym coach.
I sent him a text because I was looking for just good hiking spots around us. Because Connecticut is very flat, believe it or not, especially coastal, and so I'm not gonna read out his text to the audience at home. But what I will do is I will have a banging transition as we head into map number 3 here on Survasa.
Wait, what's the transition? I actually had a transition.
Oh, I transitioned OBS.
Oh, well, I have a segue, I guess, is the technical vernacular, as we're going to transition over from a very flat map, or sorry, god damn it.
Good try. One more
like
time.
Connecticut over to a more flat state somehow in Wisconsin, a very well-known flat state. As University of Hartford from Connecticut going up against another flat state from Warhawks in Connecticut. Or, God, kill me. You know what? Actually, never mind. Why don't you cast the rest of this? Fuck it.
Looking like a bit of a new matchup for Hartford, as they're going to be facing the Doomfist Sombra combo from the side of the Warhawks, which may be a lot to handle, but this Doomfist going in aggressively right off the rip. Orimaru getting pressured down by the Genji of Lupus Magnus, and Lupus able to just TP out with the use of his new reworked ability.
Yeah, the Sombra is definitely interesting to play against. We've honestly had them in for the league, or in most leagues, for a while now. However, Cranky's able to take out this this Doomfist. Not able to take it out on the side of this Sombra. Honestly, there's a little bit of a cosmetic Sombra right now, doing some Nat Geo, and gets taken out for her efforts. As University of Hartford, that was beautiful. That was really solid overall for the entirety of the University of Hartford. Well placed, well done so far. As the University of Hartford sets up to be able to defend here, and I say it every single time, but this is Flashpoint. These points move incredibly quick. We're looking at maybe 2 to 3 more fights possible on the side of a fast-moving Wisconsin team. However, they don't have a Lucio. Could be incredibly difficult to get a lot of fights in, and they're playing a little coquettishly. They're playing soft, not going in as hard, looking for an opportunity. The hack goes onto the JQ, but that's not a very good hack target. The Doomfist is stuck in, gets killed almost immediately. Jesus Christ, this Genji is looking absolutely different.
Okay.
The shot, the DOT. Oh my lord, get the 3K?
All right, I think someone else is playing at this man's PC tonight. Oh, never mind. We got the Mercy Spray. We got the Mercy Spray.
No.
Only Orimaru would be such a simp to do that. I mean, that's a banned word. I didn't say that.
So I can say the N-word, but I can't say sim. Fucking Twitch liberals at it again.
All right, so we are on the semi-official University of Hartford Twitch. So they go for the Shout Blade as they're looking to just burn down this Zarya, running onto the Brig next, switching over to this Genji. Great use of a Genji mechanic. Not even sure if that was intentional, as he used the wall climb to cancel the nearly to cancel.
He's moving
the shielding.
different.
Yeah, this is a whole new person.
He's deflecting individual bullets. He's deflecting individual abilities. Orimaru is the character to watch out this map, as he's playing before and deserves it absolutely. The BMs are absolutely A-okay in my book if it's going to keep him playing at this level. University of Hartford moving over to the second point already. This is an incredible look on the side of University of Hartford, and specifically with Orimaru.
Now, it's going to be really important to see how the University of Hartford prepare for this upcoming fight, as the Warhawks do have a Nano Blade combo available, but True Blade opts to just pull the button right off the rip, uses the ultimate. Cranky pulls out the overclock as well, but does not find, doesn't find as much value he's looking for. Does find the one, though, this Nano Blade, looking to run him down. The sound barrier from Blackout completely saves him, as a high charge Zarya going to do their best to try to carry this fight for the Warhawks, as Revan left to his 1v1s, and, well, Orimaru and Blackout doing their thing.
Well, and Orimaru intelligently deciding to back out of this fight instead of engaging onto the point to get a little bit more. With 62% on the board, the University of Hartford still in a great position to be able to actually get this back. But once again, I think Orimaru hasn't even died once at this point, and is really, really outslaying this enemy Genji. As we come up on the side of another window for the side of University of Hartford. They should be able to do something magical here as they take a really wide angle against this Hanzo. Could be a great idea to just run deep into this back line, especially with the Lucio speed boost and the immobility of this Brig. Could be very large for the University of Hartford. So they're setting up for a window play here potentially. Looking for it as they try and gun down this Zarya already at half HP. Trying to keep up their own tank actually. The University of Hartford getting in deep. Cranky able to find Arc. A lot of damage onto that Lucio. A lot of damage onto this Zarya as well, but neither go down. Oh, both go down actually, as True Blade 16 is also able to find another in the backline and another. University of Hartford looking incredibly solid as they take back the point at 80% for the side of Wisconsin, but University of Hartford should creep back up to 80 within a matter of seconds. Potentially only one more fight on the side of Warhawk to actually get back here and even touch the point.
The one and only ultimate available in this next coming battle is going to be Urimaru with the Genji Blade, and again, as you said, I don't know if they're even going to be able to get a contesting touch, as it's already 98. The Zarya doesn't even make it at the last second, potentially going to be forced out with stagger kills coming over for the University of Hartford. Orimaru in a 1v1 against his brother Hanzo, and gets a little scared here. Opts to just let his teammates come in and lend some assistance. Gets the healing, looking for these final stagger kills. His Brig does fall, and They are once again at their spawn room.
That is so lore accurate. You know what I'm saying? That's so cute from the side of Orimaru, deciding to actually rely on his teammates and his friends to be able to actually help him deal with his brother rather than just taking the petty 1v1 that his brother would, obviously want to go into. So, University of Hartford not only playing well, but playing lore accurate, and that's just, that's more snaps.
That's what we look for here on this UHeart Esports broadcast. Again, tell your friends, tell your family. We've got a banger here. And, well, Orimaru does eventually fall to a good headshot by Arc on the Hanzo. And
yeah, lore accurate.
Lore accurate. I don't know if... Well...
No, Genji is dead in the lore. He's been murdered, but who hasn't been murdered is Zarya at half HP, however, has the nano on their side. Triple 16 trying to get as much healing as possible, even through the window, not able to stay up. And that's an overcharged Zarya and a Soldier to be able to do so much. But they only have a Brig on their side, just trying to take position here as the points continue to tick over onto the side of
Maybe winnable for Hartford. They have the Blade, they have a sound barrier. This could absolutely be used, and we see the Blade come out looking to get these kills, but oh, he doesn't. They save the sound barrier, perhaps in fear of the future Graviton, and everybody ends up falling. And Hartford capitalize all the way up to 73% as the Warhawks finally take control once again. And this is potentially the last round that the Warhawks have to show their stuff. And if Hartford takes it here, they take it all.
Yeah, and that Zarya had too much utility, even at low HP, to be able to take him down by that dry nano blade on the side of University of Hartford. However, this dry overclock going to find a well-placed headshot onto the Zarya, keeping them at low HP. But the University of Hartford needs to look at other targets, and the other target finds them instead as Hark able to stay on that higher ground and just get an easy body shot onto Orimaru, resetting the University of Hartford. And they have to get out rather soon if they want to even another chance to get back into this point. However, I'm going to put everybody on game real quick. Easy understanding for all flashpoint spawns and be able to retouch the point. At 60%, if you get out of spawn all of your team members, you should be able to touch the point with no speed boost. However, if you have a Lucio, you could leave spawn at 80%. As we get 80% on the side of Wisconsin with the Lucio on the side of University of Hartford and them being rather close, they should be able to get another touch in here. But that's really perilous as the grab dragon combo comes out.
Oh, they get to touch it just the last second. Great rushing plays by Triple 16, but perhaps it's not going to make enough of a difference as ultimates are being thrown out by Lupus Magnus on the Sojourn, and the Warhawks are going to take this third objective and move on to number 4.
Yeah, just prolonging this as long as they possibly can, looking for better opportunities for them on other points. This Zarya swap has also been incredibly large, as well as the backline swap for Wisconsin. It's been very effective as they do have a Cole online, and we're going to see some swaps on the side of University of Hartford as well, moving away from the Junker Queen and over to the Sigma here. This could be different, especially for a longer IO point with a lot of alleyways, a lot of long sightlines. The Zarya versus the Sig comp should be able to Sig should be able to win out overall.
Lots of damage, though, being thrown into Triple 16 as Revan is forced to use his window, and he just gets run over by Mustang Rider. Arc does find another headshot onto Orimaru as Orimaru has been struggling to make anything happen in these last few rounds.
That's a one Brig, but they're not going to be able to finish them off as Cranky, the last member of University of Hartford, does fall, but at only 10% on the board for the side of Wisconsin. University of Hartford still able to be in this fight, and with another point to be able to give to make this to a 0.5. And a little bit of thinking going on the side of the University of Hartford as they decide to make some swaps over to the May and the Bastion, maybe to corral a little bit more, be able to put out a lot more damage onto this tank. The Zarya's been getting incredibly low but not being punished, and University of Hartford going to make some swaps maybe to achieve that goal here, as well as them taking a much longer sightline, which could be beneficial for them, especially with the Sigma.
They also are choosing to run this May Bastion duo now instead of the previous Genji Sojourn. They think this Bastion is going to be able to blow up the tank, and that was absolutely correct as Twin Sanity just falls over, and it seems the rest of his team is going to be doing the exact same in just a few short moments.
Absolutely, University of Hartford back in control of the point. However, there is still a Moira on the point. Going to stall it out as long as they possibly can, but the University of Hartford, I believe, has a little bit stronger of a bunker comp here, and I don't think that Twin Sanity and the rest of Wisconsin are going to be able to really push in egregiously, as long as the University of Hartford plays these angles, these sight lines well. I like that they're holding up close here, trying to give up a little bit of effort early so that ults and abilities are used early before they even get close to the point. However, a grab on the side of the Zarya could be incredibly dangerous. A great well-timed wall could find her. However, that one is easily gotten around by the Exo boots of the side. And a great grab as well, but it's a one Moira and able to be found even in the middle of a grab. A huge blizzard as well, as that Junkrat is frozen. And the lamp used, Oriboro able to find 2 off that blizzard.
That was yet another really great play by the University of Hartford. The Graviton was expended, and did Mustang Rider use their ultimate as well?
Potentially, as they also see them swap over to the Zen here.
Does not matter what Mustang Rider is on. His other support is already taken out.
And at 90%, I mean, I don't think that Wisconsin can touch no matter what they do at this point. They would have to go incredibly sly. Junkrat may be able to touch, but
oh, he gets forced out.
And that's going to be game. University of Hartford winning 3-0 against Warhawks, Wisconsin. Incredible effort from Warhawks, but University of Hartford just playing a little bit stronger throughout the entirety of this. Potentially able to get a play of the game for their troubles, losing the other 2 play of the games early in this match. However, Orimuru with a great sense on this Genji to start off the map, and then very effective plays on the Mei going over to the rest of this map. So a real GG's, well played from everybody involved. University of Hartford winning this one up against University of Wisconsin Warhawks. A great effort from both teams, with the University of Hartford eking this one out. Every single one of those maps was close, but the University of Hartford able to put the final nail in the coffin and clean this one up for everybody back home.
Indeed, they were. Now, here's the important question that we always have to ask. Who is your player of the match after this incredible matchup? What are you thinking?
I definitely think the University of Hartford started off a little bit slow. It was difficult from a lot of players. However, I think one of the more consistent players, and especially a little bit more flashy as well, was going to be Orimuru in my book. I think that they did a fantastic job on multiple different characters, giving us multiple different looks. I think True Blade 16 did something very similar. However, I do think that the prevalence of that Genji in early points of Survasa really locked it down for the University of Hartford team. I think the consistency on the Bastion as well as the Mei whenever they swapped over to either was really consistent, both from Lijiang and on Paraiso. So overall, I do think that this is, for me, going to be going over to Orimuru, but I'm very interested in not only yours, but everyone in the chat's thoughts as well. But since you're the only one on mic, what do you think? Who was your player of the match for this match?
I would say my player of the match, I can't know without, knowing what the comms were like, but whoever was in the voice making the decisions for when they made compositional swaps. Hartford has tended... Oh, hello. We've got a gray screen. But Hartford has a tendency in the past to, roll out on a composition that they think is good, and then it works. It works for the first couple fights. The enemy team makes swaps, and Hartford keeps smacking their head into the enemy like a brick wall until they just end up losing the map. That was not the case, right? They rolled out on Lijiang. They had their composition. They thought it would work. They ran into difficulty. They made an adaptation. We saw True Blade 16 pull out the Doomfist. We saw... what else? We saw them switch over to Mei Bastion at a period, I believe. On Paraiso, we saw them switch off of the Echo over to I believe it was like Soldier Sojourn, something like that. And then, our third map, they rolled out on that Junker Queen Genji Sojourn, and it worked. They got the first two rounds completely free. Enemy team made adaptations. They lost the third round. Hartford recognized, switched over to the Mei, switched over to Bastion, switched over to the Sigma, and just dominated on the fourth objective.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things we're going to have to just find out by asking somebody. So I still think that player of the match is going to go over to Orimuru. If Dusty/Derek, you can get Orimuru on the mic. Got some important questions to ask him. Find out exactly who was kind of ringleading a lot of the decisions being made on the side of the University of Hartford. But great individual effort so far from the University of Hartford, from all their players. But we definitely want to take a look and talk to Orimuru if possible. We get to see our very cute manager on the side of Derek, aka Dusty. Are we able to get Orimuru on the mic?
Yeah, standing up from his very, 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 very sweaty chair.
Okay, I don't know why you had to add so many varies. I don't know who that is, but if you can get him off the mic, that would be, or off cam, that would be great. If you could just, I don't, is he like a fan? Is he supposed to be there? I don't know who that is.
He just shows up sometimes. I don't
Is
know.
just like what, just like hangs around, stands in the corner?
Yeah, I tell him to leave, and sometimes he just like threatens to.
Oh, and he gets like violent. And that's kind of weird. You should call security next time, man. Also, when you get Orimaru on the mic, if you could possibly just get him his mic a little bit closer to his mouth. And now that's a guy I remember. That is in fact Black Spider-Man himself with the cinnamon toast crunch creamy cinnamon spread. Just diabetes in a jar. I want to vomit looking at that. That is really bad for your
Oh,
liver
yeah.
and just disgusting. Utterly disgusting.
Hey. But hear me out. Take that, sprinkle a little bit of it on your cinnamon toast crunch for your breakfast in the morning. Mm-hmm.
Bro, you gonna invent type 5 diabetes. What's wrong with you?
Hey, can I patent it?
Yeah, you can patent it from the grave, bro.
Trademark? Copyright?
Copyright diabetes 5. As we do get to see the lazy boy, the hoodie wearing, the cat claddin Orimaru hopping on the mic. How are you doing, my man? This is a great effort from everybody involved, but you did a great job today. How are you feeling so far?
Thank you.
All right, definitely gonna need your mic a bit closer to your face.
Hello?
Is that the
Yeah,
microphone that is connected, or is it the snowball?
This one?
Yes, definitely.
definitely the snowball.
Yeah, I was certainly crazy man.
You're leaning away from the snowball.
You gotta be near the mic.
You guys are like asking like I was watching the stream earlier. You guys are asking like, oh my god, I wonder how like the comms are like. When I
Yeah.
tell you like we were on it, we were on that shit. We were on that shit, bro.
I love to hear it. So
Yeah.
so walk us through my first biggest thing is round number 1. You roll out on night market with the Junker Queen comp. Was there any thought about playing Reinhardt? Or was it, pretty quickly decided let's just stick to the JQ?
We were experimenting a bit, not gonna lie, but at third point, I think it was what was that last control map called?
Control center.
Control center.
Yeah.
I made the swap, or I made the call like start Ryan, and then if it's not working, you can go to like I don't know whatever you want sake.
Yeah.
That. I think Jack played pretty well. Not gonna lie. I think we were a bit like sleeping at the start, so probably why we lost most fights.
But it pulled together. And God, my favorite part of the whole time was when we saw Trueblade opt to switch over to the Doomfist as a way of countering the enemy Reinhardt. And I'm sure part of it was to, come back as a stall hero, but sticking with it, from our perspective, it looked like that man was just having the time of his life playing against that Brawl comp.
Actually, at one point, we were paused because no one left. He was on his point alone. He's like, guys, I'm in the middle of a punch. I have no cooldowns, and I'm about to die.
We were spectating him during that pause, and there was genuine belief in our hearts that he was going to be able to kill the 2 people right in front of him. He was not.
I think it could have been possible. I think it could have been possible. Actually, I hate to do this, but could you ask Trueblade 16 a question? Could you ask him whether or not he tried to hold the punch to charge it further, or if he just let it swing immediately in that pause scenario?
He's here right now.
Yeah, why don't you bring him on the
Come on.
mic?
Here real quick. I have a question for you.
Yeah, sit in baby girl's lap.
Yo, what's up?
I got a question for you real quick. So, on Lijiang, you were holding a punch when you went into pause up against the enemy team.
Yeah.
Did you try and hold that punch, or did you try to immediately shoot it? And what was that reaction? What did you try and do out of that pause? Because you were in a prime position to potentially get 2 kills off of that punch if you held it a little bit longer. What was your thought process during that pause?
Bap had a window, and Doom's hitbox is fairly large for his priority, so I could have died really easily. The idea was, if I punch, I can get some overhealth. Maybe I can AD dodge enough to live, get a slam, more overhealth. Maybe someone else can stall. That's just all I did.
So you just tried to insta punch.
Oh yeah, I tried to instant punch for
Okay.
immediate overhealth.
Understandable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. No, that's it. Thank you very much for giving for answering our questions.
Love you, Peter.
No. So back to Joe. Thank you so much to Jack for stepping in and answering a question there from us. How is Paraiso? I'm sorry, we don't have any questions from chat.
Paraiso and it was something. We were cooking alright. We had Revan over here thinking about like a fight plan and stuff, and like there's not really much to play on Paraiso, especially on that first plan. We hit it in the bud. So we just ended up playing that TPE Bastion with Sig.
Yeah, I thought the TP plays were very good. I'm glad that you guys stuck with it instead of deciding to just go for a full comp swap. Overall, I think you guys played incredibly well on Paraiso, but let's talk to the moment in which I had to know that it was going to be you getting the player of the match, at least from my side, Survasa. Let's talk about the Genji. What were you feeling like coming into this first point and the second point? I mean, you got play the game, no blade, first fight of Survasa off of a 4K. What was that like? What was going through your brain? Was this just like, I need to swag out? Am I emulating Necros to like, did wanted or not wanted? Did like Nift enter your body and decide to start playing? Like, well, what was going on in that moment?
I don't know. I mean, it's not really all me. It's definitely also my teammates getting them really low, 50 HP, so I can dash in and get that kill. But yeah, I was in my head. I was like, oh my god, no way.
No way.
Hey.
Press the tab, and I was like, how much ult charge do I have?
Four final blows, a total of 12 ult charge. Wow.
Hey, that's slash dashes for you. But I mean, hey, an incredible effort from you on all 3 maps. And that's all I have. Just want to once again reiterate, great job on every single character that you played. Very, very well played today, Joe. And I'm going to hand it over to my co-commentator here for the final ultimate question, one we ask all the time.
So, Mr. Orimaru, your team, the University of Hartford, has gone undefeated 7-0 during this regular season phase of NACE Open Plus Division, and playoffs start next week. So, what comes next? What's tomorrow? What are you gonna do in preparation for the tournament next week? You know, what are you gonna do for homework tonight? What's walk me through it.
The plan is tonight I had 5 gummy bear packs for breakfast and lunch, so I'm gonna get some Hogsmith, you know. And then got registration due tonight, and I think for the following weeks we'll definitely be sincerely looking at VODs and putting a lot of hours into screen time.
Heck yeah.
Can I add something to your routine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, could you figure out how a fucking mic works? Why are you keep on leaning away from it? You know it's the snowball in front of you.
This chair is so nice though.
I need you to know that there was the only comment in chat regarding you during this interview was, could you raise his volume?
You got no questions. You only got just raise his fucking
what
volume.
What can I say? My gameplay is straight and simple. Kill them all, you know?
So, anyways, thank you, Mr. Joe Orimuru, for this lovely interview. It was a pleasure, as always, to watch and cast. And fans at home, thank you for stopping by. This was one of the most fun matches we've gotten to watch with you guys throughout this entire season, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, playoffs should be a banger.
Bye-bye. One more time, snaps for Yas. Joe, snap for Yas. Oh, he left.
Wow, you fucking left? Jesus Christ. We can't interview him ever again.
Yo,
he has to actually sit down
one
learn
last thing.
how to use a mic, dude.
One last thing before I end the stream. You see this?
Wagwan.
You see this black thing right here?
Yeah, the TV.
The TV? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on at the start, and as soon as I switched into the spectating, the scrim, spectating the match on Lijiang.
Are we still streaming?
Yes,
or is this
we
like
are.
Our normal. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, our on-screen banter. Yeah, sorry.
But,
Continue. What was
as
this?
I queued us up into map number 1, I ran up and shut the TV off.
Cool. I honestly did not notice.
I know.
It was probably flawless.
It's
I'll
like
have to go back to the VOD.
it's like 12 pixels.
Yeah. It's like it's like 48. Hey, real quick, Derek, could you just grab that jar? Not right now. Can you just like in a couple seconds, just grab that jar, open up the window, and just throw it out the window as fast as you possibly can. You could turn the camera too. That'd be helpful. You just chuck it. You can rip the window open to the side. Ooh, what's up? What's that guy doing later? You got a Tinder? Cool. You should like hit me up. I thought you were on Tinder right now. I thought that was gonna be wild.
Can't
I
be
thought
on Tinder.
it was gonna be crazy.
Not an option for me.
Yeah, they really
Offsides.
need like they need like a Hispanics only.
3,
No,
2,
not even
1,
that.
fight!
Not even that, bro.
Choose your character. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream now.
You should punch Jack. Just like get up and hit
Bye
him
bye.
as hard as you
Everyone
possibly
wave
can.
goodbye.
Jack-
Derek, tell them to wave goodbye. Sean, wave goodbye. Hey, Sean.
Anyway,
Sean. Yay!
nice stream.
That was so good. I wish
Bye,
you had cut
stream.
stream.